Hello, YouTube, and I am your favorite potato. Not really, I'm sure you've got plenty of better potatoes out there. Anyhow, I'm really enjoying figuring out how to use a computer, and specifically doing this is very helpful for making me feel more comfortable with computers. Anyhow, so I'm kind of a lot of a skeptic about certain minority ideals and not really like what individual people think, just more of I'm a big skeptic about certain movements and all that fun stuff. I get the concepts and all that stuff. I'm just skeptical about what a lot of things have become nowadays. So, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. Um, Good thing I don't have many followers. uh, Anyhow, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to take a how much of a feminist are you? And just so we are clear, you know, I'm all about women's rights and yada yada. My thing is I just feel like it's become the movement has done its job here in the Western world. So maybe move it a little eastward. That's cool too. Anyhow, I just feel like it's done its purpose and whatever, and I do not consider myself a feminist at all. If anything, equalitarian, something like that. And yeah, I try to stay in that area because try to keep the peace, but I don't keep my mouth shut. So let us minimize my infinite loop of eternal maze through the screen. Anyhow, so I actually saw this on someone else's YouTube channel, and I was and I just the person's called Shoe on Head, and they're very funny. They do a lot of criticalness of. They're very critical of the feminist stuff, and I saw them doing this, and I was like, hey, that would be a cool thing to do. So I'm here. Anyhow, enough for me blabbing away and or mansplaining. Let's get on with this. So check all that apply. I would be willing to give up some of my salary if I had to, so that equal pay my workplace could be a reality. Honestly, for one, I'm kind of an asshole and I'm kind of selfish. So I would probably, rather have the money to myself. Now, if someone was like so underpaid and I was just getting a lot of money or something, hell, I would probably take him out to eat a lot or something. I don't know. I'm all for equal pay, but some people do more work. Some people actually deserve better pay. There's promotional stuff, and really, that's just a really hard one to really say what is equal, and because as everyone should know, everyone's an asshole. And people are assholes, people are lazy, they don't put in the effort. And if I'm putting in the effort and someone else is not, I would not be very fond of giving them, a bit of my pay. So I'm gonna I'm also explaining this stuff just so I can kind of figure out, okay, what do I think of it? And I've heard a few people talk about equal pay in the workplace, and hell, I tried to look it up myself and see if maybe that was an accurate thing of maybe women are actually unequally paid. I'm kind of like, jeez. Anyhow, I'm gonna go with the next question. I believe that men and women should be equal. No duh. Of course, everything's questionable about what's equal. Of course, I feel like a woman can do whatever a man can do, and a man can do whatever a woman can do, but of course, in this world, it's kind of comparing men to women are like comparing oranges to apples. I think they're equal in fruits, but I mean, I might like oranges more than apples, but oranges are also sticky, so I don't want to deal with oranges, so maybe I want an apple, or frick, maybe I don't want either of them, maybe I want a banana. So, anyhow, don't hate me. Okay, go ahead and hate me, but I can't help but be bothered when a song includes misogynistic lyrics, even when I otherwise like the song. You gotta love how it specifically sings misogynistic, specifically being like, if the lyrics are about women and offensively to women, but not to men. Oh my gosh. And keep in mind, people, I am transgender, okay? Like, I understand both. I understand both sides of it, and hell, I spent a lot of my childhood with women, and a lot of my later teen years with a lot of guys. And basically people who are non-conforming to gender roles. Let's see. I'm gonna say no, because one, I don't even really think about it. I mean, like, if a song says something like really horrible, like go rape women or go beat up your wives or something like that, yeah, I'm gonna be bothered by that a little bit. However, some rap songs, or whatever, some of them can actually be very misogynistic, but in the sense of trying to say, hey, look, I fricked up in my life, and I just want to make it right, but I don't know how the hell to do that, because, I feel trapped or something like that, or more of expression. Like, honestly, songs are expression, and just, I don't know. I'd feel as equally annoyed if I heard something as equally bad about men, so I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's... No, I don't ever really even think about it whenever... because I don't get offended by everything. I know who Bell Hooks is. Well, no, I don't. And I'm going to put my money on she is a feminist, right? Because why else would that be in here, right? Did I go too far? I did. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna look this up. Bell Hooks. I'm curious. just to show I'm an educated person who values education, I'm going to be like, hey, let's see this. So, bell hooks. Because I'm all about understanding things, because I'm not an ass. I am, but... And now, bell hooks. I don't want to go through Wikipedia page. Oh, bell hooks official site. Well, I guess if Amazon, let's see. I'm gonna go with this site just because I'd rather not use Wikipedia because that's kind of faulty thing to do and knowledge and crap. Okay. Now this might take me a minute because I am kind of legally blind and I kind of have my screen zoomed in, but you guys don't get to see that. You also don't get to see how weird everything looks in inverted color. Like, seriously, you guys, try it out. Try it out. It's interesting. I don't... Oh, Bell Hooks Institution, Bura College. I'm guessing it's a college. Maybe. Teacher, Remembrance, Explore. Let's see. I figure if I'm gonna be critical of this stuff, you know what? Fine, let's be lazy and go to the Wikipedia. And if this doesn't give me a basic idea of what the heck it is, then, because I have the rest of this thing to do, you know. Bell hooks. Glory Jean Watkins, better known for her pen name Bell Hooks, is an American author, feminist, and social activist. The name Bell Hooks is derived from that of maternal great-grandmother Belle Blair Hooks. Interesting. The focus of Hooks' writing has been the intersectionality of race, capitalism, of course it is, and gender, and what she describes as their ability to produce and... Okay, so, a feminist. Intersectional feminist, to be exact. Anyhow, let's close up some of these so that I can, you know, make things be more quicker. Okay, so I'm not going to check that because I didn't know offhand, so I'm not going to check that. I can define intersectional feminist. Yes, I can, because I keep hearing it everywhere. Basically, you're a feminist, and you are some other minority or support other minorities like race and gender and blah 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 blah. I had a rant recently about it, and about really minorities in general versus being disabled, and how you don't hear about disabilities that much. And it was a late night rant, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't use the phrase, hey guys, referring to a group of people that includes me. My only thought is, so does this make the electric company sexist or non-feminist? Hey you guys, Okay, dude and guys are very gender neutral terms for me. So, yeah, I do say, hey guys. Actually, honestly, I say y'all because I don't want to offend people in some cases, or I can't tell what gender someone is. So, I'm just like, yeah. Let's do some checking on the video because I'm so unprofessional because I have really, I'm like, did I destroy the video yet? But no, I haven't. The video is gonna destroy me before I destroy it, hopefully. Jeez, okay, I know, like, not every feminist is gonna be like, oh, that's sexist, but I'm at a big university, and I've seen people who think this kind of way, and I'm just kind of like, so I know this is a legit thing that some women think is disrespectful to say, hey guys, like, jeez, oh my gosh, like, dude, even people who are trans female probably don't care if you say, hey guys. Not all, because I know all you. Okay, I'm not even gonna get into that before I get more hated. I have taken a woman's and or gender studies class. Oh dear Lord. So I'm gonna go on record here and say I do respect having a women's class and or gender studies class or whatever. Be nice to have some men's class to maybe teach women about men so we can all know each other better. Hell, that would be pretty great, and I guess that would include gender studies, but at the same time, we all know that usually dives more into transgenderness and into women's studies, and probably rarely touches on men. Of course, I wouldn't know because I've never taken a class, and I've never taken one, so maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong on that. I know there are some majors out there for gender studies, and that's where I'm kind of like, no. I can respect it as a minor, because, hey, you might just really be interested in that area, and you might be really passionate in that area, but an entire gender, like, major, like, gosh, just, oh, goodness. So an entire major devoted to that's just stupid, honestly. It is, because you can do the same stuff with that, with some sort of, like, social work kind of degree, or really any degree, honestly. But I do respect that as a minor. I do, because I think, hey, that's healthy. Let's have some advocacy on like gender and stuff like that, and I think men should also be included in that. I am one of those people who do see feminism nowadays in America, not anywhere else, because I don't know anywhere else, as more of women being over men, and I could always go into more detail, but I won't, unless you guys want me to. Then maybe I will. So I'm not checking that. Because I've never taken the class. You guys are probably going to tell me, just answer the damn question and stop rambling. But hey, What do you expect? I like to talk. I think it's important to encourage girls to pursue science and math as a career. Okay, so before I identified as male, I was already set on a science field. So, and even if I still was to identify as female, I'd still be going into that area. I never. I should keep my mouth shut, but I'm so bad at that. Anyhow, but no, yeah, I encourage everybody to, do whatever they feel like doing. If you wanna, go into science, if girls want to go into science and maths stuff, then yeah, that's cool. If men want to do choir and theater and sales stuff like Avon or something, I encourage that, or cosmetology or whatever. I encourage that, just don't shove it down people's throats. Okay, women should be allowed to apply for a job if they fulfill 60% of job. Oh God. Okay. Women should be allowed to apply for a job if they fulfill 60% of the job requirements. Okay, honey, you should be able to. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care. Hell, I don't even care if you're freaking subspecies or something. I don't even know. I don't care what's in your pants. I don't care. Hell, I don't care if you're a robot. If you do not fulfill 100% of the job's requirements, hell freaking no. Cause there is a thing oh God. Okay. If I fulfill 60% of a job requirement, that job requires sight. Keep in mind, I am legally blind. If that job requires to be not blind, or hell, even have perfect vision, but I match every other requirement that they ask of me, should they hire me? Maybe I should go apply for a pizza delivery. I'm gonna go apply for pizza delivery. See you guys later. I wish I knew how to edit stuff. Because these videos would probably be even more hilarious, or offensive, or both. So, I don't care what the frick is in your pants. I don't care if you're a woman, I don't care if you're trans, I don't care if you're non-binary, I don't care if you're man, I don't care if you're intersex, or whatever. If you don't fulfill 100% of the job requirements, now if it's recommendations, that's another story, but you should be able to meet all of the requirements. Of course, hell, I've been hired for a job that required, where the job description specifically said, you must be able to read fine print. Of course, I obviously can't do that. I can't even do that with anything I have. Of course, I work around it and blah blah blah. Of course, that job was only seasonal. But I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna transition for a little bit, for the sole purpose of so I can go drive a semi truck. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go be a woman so I can drive a semi truck. I just can't do this. Oh God. I'm probably laughing more at this than I should. Okay, it says requirements. So if part of that requirement, if you, like, honestly, it says if you can't do 100% of what is required of you to do, then get out. Because work is work. A job is a job. And a boss is not going to want to hire someone who is 60% capable of their job. So, freaking flying potatoes, no. Oh gosh, I'm going to get so much hate on this. And this is so lengthy too. I think we should change women's bathroom symbols to not include traditionally feminine clothing, skirts, dresses, etc. Okay. So, so a kid, or hell, even someone who is mentally handicapped, who cannot read, but of course can get around to go to the restroom or whatever, because I do have a mentally handicapped cousin, and she cannot read, but, she knows good and well, what a female symbol is on the restrooms and what a male symbol is on the restrooms. So, I mean, what do you want for that? I mean, what do you not want? Do you want all bathroom signs to look the same? Is that what you're asking? And I mean, hell, guys can wear skirts and dresses too, but I mean, that's not on their symbol. I mean, like, most girls wear dresses. Most girls wear skirts. Like, at some point with their lives, whereas men don't. So I don't care, just as long as it's recognizable. But I don't think it's necessary, so I'm gonna say no. Well, apparently I'm gonna, okay, I would have considered myself a lot more moderate, but now I'm going through this and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm not so good. On that last question about applying for a job that you can only fulfill 60% of, honestly, yeah. You can apply for whatever the hell you want to, but it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Because I just noticed, I was so caught up on the requirements and 60% that I was like, But, I mean, you can apply for whatever the hell you want to, but I think it's useless. It really is useless, because if you can't, and I don't think you should try to force yourself into a job that you cannot 100% do. Plain and simple. But maybe I'll go apply to be a bus driver. I don't know. Okay, I believe trans people should be able to use whichever bathroom they identify with. I'm gonna say yes for the most part. Just now, here's a criticism I do have with the bathroom stuff. Is look, okay, we are kind of in this. I honestly, I just think we need to have unisex restrooms, and women and men can go to the same restrooms as each other. But I just think right now, if we are specifically separating men and women's restrooms, then you should be passing at least a little, or at least put some effort into looking a little bit feminine, even if all you're doing is wearing a skirt, or at least if all you're doing is, I don't know, doing whatever. If you're trans female, of course, if you're trans male, just try to have kind of male-ish looking hair. Hell, it doesn't even have to be short. Wear a hat maybe. If you have to have long hair, I don't even know. Like, that's my only criticism of that, really, is just, I just think we should have unisex restrooms in general, because I think everyone's going to be a lot safer, because of, okay, if you guys want to hear me talk about that, let me know. I'll talk about it more on the bathroom stuff. Hell, if you want to hear me talk about anything, just let me know. No. Okay, next question. I believe it's important to encourage women to negate. Negotiate. Negate? Oh gosh, I'm probably looking like a freaking idiot. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm off. Negate. I'm assuming that's negate, because that's the only word that seems like it would be kind of reasonable, and I think each gender should. It's important to encourage women to negate. Okay, I mean, I think it's important to teach everybody how to negate stuff and to say no. And you know, just as someone who's lived most of my life as a female, like I never really saw this as an issue. Like, I couldn't ever negate. Oh jeez, that one's a tough one, because, like, and I think if you negate, you should know that you should also be able to criticize feminism. Let's educationally negate. How about that? And I think it's important for men and women, but because I do think it's important for women, and they're specifying women, I'm gonna say yes. I do wish they would say men as well. Yes, now you all know I drink unhealthy amounts of soda. I believe Jennifer Lawrence should earn as her male co-stars. Okay. Okay, for one, I don't... If she's doing the same amount of... so, since it says co-star, I'm assuming this person is someone in like the movies or whatever, a TV show, something like that. I don't know actors' names very well, to be honest. If she does as much recording time and as much, or acting time or whatever specific stuff she does, if she does it equally and a lot of stuff, then yeah, and if she's in the same, playing the same main roles. I feel like that's really a hard one to say, just for a simple fact that, like, I don't know, it depends, like, if being a main character versus being an extra in a movie or something is going to you're going to get paid less. So I don't know. That one's a hard one to really say. I'm not going to check it just because I'm like, for one, I just don't even really know who that is. But also, movie biz is just a weird as business, and honestly, no one's really paid fairly. So I don't think this is a gender issue here. Okay. But yeah, we all want to turn everything into an issue. Hell, I'm turning an issue of an issue into an issue. I do not think a movie should be released unless it passes the Bechdel test. The frick is the Bechdel? What is that even? I'm googling this. I'm googling it because I want to know. I want to be informed. I'm probably gonna say no to this for the simple fact that any movie can do whatever it wants to do, just like any book, and anything anywhere can do whatever the heck it wants to do and say, and you don't have to deal with it. But Bechdel test. Do 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 do. Bechdel test. I'm not gonna go. Let's see if I can. Please just give me a definition of it without me having to Wikipedia it. I don't like using Wikipedia, damn it. Here it is. It has to have at least 2 named women in it who talk to each other about something besides. Jeez. Oh God, dear Lord. It's a simple test which names the following 3 criteria. It has to have at least 2 women in it who talk to each other about something besides a man. I mean, okay, gonna be honest here, that's stupid. That, my friends, is stupid. But let me also tell you another thing. Any TV show or movie that does not have... Okay, if you have a movie fully about women with no men in it, it's going to be bad. If you have a movie with all men in it without any women, it's going to be bad because counterbalance. There's a thing there. And I don't know, like, I mean, it depends what the movie's even about, because, like, I think it's good to have women in your movies. I do think it is a good idea. It's good movie practice, but it's not really it should not be released unless it has women in it. Like, honey, darling. Yes, it's probably gonna be a bad movie, but so was Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that got released. Oh gosh, no. Bad movies get released all the time, and honestly, like, I think that's stupid. That's just stupid. Like, hell, if a movie, it's just bad movie tactics to just not have both genders in your movies. And hell, what about the reverse? Jeez, I mean, kinda sexist there, aren't we? And I'm offending people each day. It's fine. It's fine. But also, let me tell you something. There's almost in every movie there is something with romance going on. And most of the time we live in a very, well, I'm going to use this term in a not a bad way at all, a heteronormative world where 90 something percent, I don't know how many percent, I should do my homework before I do stuff like this, jeez. I should actually do my actual homework, but just kidding. Honestly, I'm just taking a break from my stuff right now. I've been working non-stop this week, so I promise I'm doing my homework. I'm just trying to relax my brain by torturing it. Anyhow, once again, good thing my channel is very small. But now I'm talking against feminism. Or the reality is being critical of it. It'll probably offend so many people, I'll get populated. No. Anyhow, so I've been in theater quite a bit, and I'm just kind of like, and I like to watch movies. I like doing that. But you're always gonna have some sort of romance, and being in a world where the majority is, in fact, straight, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be straight, and I feel like so many LGBT people make it such a bad thing. But maybe that's my own look on it. Anyhow, yeah. So women are probably going to be talking about a guy, because usually there's romance, and usually, but I mean, of course, women can't have conversations about anything else. Let's oh gosh, I mean, what do they think of all these horror movies where where so many females are dying, huh? I mean, heck, let's go to freaking Final Destination 3. That movie definitely has two women talking about something besides a guy. and they're even screaming. I don't even know. Okay, before I start to actually sound like I am hateful, I'm going, because I'm not. I'm just, this is kind of stupid. This is really stupid. You know, like I said, you should have both genders in your movies, but it shouldn't be a test to whether or not it's released or not. Because, honestly, tell me, what movies are out there that don't meet those requirements? Like, in all reality. or at least popular movies. I mean, I'm sure there are movies I've never heard of. Who knows? Anyhow, I'm gonna shut up with this one and I'll continue to the next one. I believe all genders are entitled to the same social and political rights. You're damn right, I am. Thank you very much, because yeah, I don't care what's in your pants, you know. Men should be judged equally in court as women, and, you know, women should have the same political power as men, or whatever, you know. We should all have equal, and intersex people, gotta include that too, and transgender people, non-binary people, as long as you're not a douchebag about it. All the power, so all social and political power to you. Anyhow, I can explain why 78 cents to the dollar is not fully accurate description of the gender wage gap. Hold on, let me reread this. I can explain why 78 cents to the dollar is not fully accurate description of the gender wage gap. Okay, I can explain why it's not a fully accurate description of the gender wage gap. Yeah, I can. One is I keep hearing it change a lot. I've heard 60-some cents, 70-some cents, 80, I don't even know. Also, I actually tried to look this up, and I couldn't find anything that was like, as someone who does science, you know, I couldn't find anything that was an accurate representation of the wage gap. And so far from what I have found out there is, it's basic. Man, I feel like I shouldn't be the one explaining this. So, like I said before, one thing, 78 cents, keeps changing, but also a lot of it is you're taking all of the work females do and going with an average with that, and then taking all the work guys do and taking the average of that, and the hours and stuff are different. It's not the equal pay for the same job, basically. Like, there's not... I don't want to say it's a myth, but from what I found, sounding a little mythy here and there. I don't want to like dismiss it, but because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, it's sounding a little bit mythy. I'm gonna shut up before I burned at stake. Okay, I believe that women who possess certain types of privilege are responsible for advocating for women who don't have their level of privilege. No, I don't. Like I said, I just kind of view feminism as it's done what it needs to do, at least here in the Western world. So, I mean, if there's a woman over in East, and I don't know what to say to this, because, okay, if you are a non-Islamic woman or whatever, not to be bashing Islamic, because I I respect all religions. I consider myself an omniist, which is, belief of all religions. I can go more in depth than that if you guys wish. Just let me know. So, I feel like this is implying something else. But if you are privileged enough to have a good life here in America, and you want to be a true feminist, and you want to do some advocacy, how about you go over to the Eastern world where, women are being extremely oppressed. Just because Islam is kind of oppressive of women. If a woman wants to stay in that position, that's perfectly fine. I respect that. But there's some women who I'm going to put my money on, my non-existent money on the idea that, she might be stuck and not know that she has any other choice but to do what a man tells her off in the Eastern world. I don't know, So, but of course, I'm also well aware that this is BuzzFeed, and BuzzFeed likes to really heavily imply certain things. Trying to push. And then probably being more like, hey, if you're a white, cisgendered woman with money, you should be an advocate for the women who are black and trans. I don't know. While I don't agree with what I bet you they're implying here, I'm going to check it for yes, because I do believe women here, I don't care what color you are, or what sexuality you are, or whatever you are, I don't advise, being disabled and going to another country where women are oppressed. If you want to go fight for some feminism over there, be my guest, and I will applaud you. And frick, if I can take care of myself with my money, with the money I have, I'll send you some money to try to work for that. Of course, I'm poor as hell, and I'm trying to raise my own money for top surgery. Donate. I mean, any women who want to do a mission trip over there to help do true feminism in the East or whatever, be my guest. Be my flippin' guest. I will applaud you, and I will support you 100% of the way. Okay, next question. If I had a daughter, I would encourage her to be anything she wanted to be. I would also encourage a boy to be whatever the hell he wants to be. So. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna check this because I know what they mean. I know that they're just kind of saying in general. So, there's no, I haven't really had this confirmed to me or whatever. I've just kind of had to do my own research and kind of observe. So I've noticed in my family my sight is hereditary. I got it from my mother, who got it from her mother, and for whatever reason, it doesn't go to the boys in the family. So, because I am female, there is a pretty good chance that if I... Jeez, I'm gonna get this far because I'll try to explain this. But, gotta do my job. No, this isn't my job. I don't have a job. Oh yeah, I sell Avon, that's right. I forget I do that. That's how bad I am at it. Okay, anyhow. So, if I had a daughter, chances are, very high chances are, she would be legally blind as well. And I would not encourage a blind girl to do something that they cannot physically do. Please, if you're blind, please don't become a brain surgeon. Unless you have a way to work around that, then by all means, good luck to you, but I don't trust you with my brain. Anyhow, that's my little ramble, but I checked yes on it, because I would say encourage your children, whatever gender they are, to, do whatever. I'll probably also help count for some of the stuff I'm also anyhow, I would make it clear to my daughter at an early age that her identity should never be defined by her relationship status. Okay. I'm gonna say no for one, is I don't want to have to explain to... So, I don't know, early age, like, I'd say that sounds like child, by her relationship status. I guess that's implying that a woman should, that some women still think they are less to their partners, or that they are less for being single. I'm gonna say no, for the simple fact I'm like, one is, at least not from an early age, and I wouldn't... Okay, here's my thing, is actions speak louder than words. I'm not gonna... So, by, showing her that I'm independent, of whatever I am, that, yeah, I just also think that's a poorly BuzzFeed, make your crap clearer, please, because I don't know women who actually feel like... And I've met a lot of women, so don't be like, oh, you just don't know women. No, I know quite a few women. And none of them have ever felt like they were defined by their relationship status. Anyhow, moving on. I'm not checking that. I believe it's important to compliment a woman's intelligence. Words don't work for me over her looks. Well, yeah, I think both are good, but I do think, I mean, if she's a dumbass, don't compliment her, but if she's actually genuinely smart, compliment her, but also, tell her she looks nice, because self-esteem is an issue, and, women and men don't want to just be told that they're smart, they want to be told that they look good too, even if they try to hide the fact that they don't want to be seen as, that, they might try to hide their superficialness over looks, but deep inside, not all people, most people want to be complimented on how they look. It makes people feel good. So if a person looks good, compliment them on their looks. If they're actually smart, compliment them on their smarts. I don't think I'm going to get complimented on either one of those, though. But I'm a guy. Well, I identify as a male. So, it's fine. I believe that a woman has the right to choose what happens to her body. Oh, I know what they're referring to here. That was... Okay, that wasn't really a noise related to this. That was just me kind of being derpy. Okay, so, I know for sure that they are implying this on abortion. However, I do feel like a woman should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do to their body, so long as it doesn't hurt another human being. Which I am pro-life, and I don't go out protesting against abortion or whatever. No, I do, however, I am open to the ideas of, hey, if you can't raise a baby, okay, abortion, here we go. Here's my opinion. Get over it. So, if your health is not at risk, like major risk, and your life's not at risk, or there's not going to be some complications and all that fun gist. If you do have those issues, I say, yeah, get an abortion, do it, because your life matters too. However, if you are someone who just doesn't feel like you can raise the kid, either put it up for adoption. Hell, I would even raise a kid for someone else just so they don't have to abort the child because they don't feel like they can raise it. Because I completely get it. I completely get that you don't want to, maybe you don't want to. You don't want to have a kid. You don't want to raise a kid. You don't want to give up that freedom yet. Or maybe you simply can't, and I understand that. Life is... life will kick you in the nuts. Anyhow, just... I'm very pro-life. Like I said, I don't go out protesting. I think it's wrong that some of the pro-life people go out there bombing abortion places, because that's like, okay, you're kind of contradicting yourself. It's stupid. It's stupid. And I think, if you want to, you should be able to, if you're really pro-life, you should definitely put more effort into helping orphanages and adoption places and whatever, or maybe adopting kids yourself, I don't know, because that just... So yeah, that's kind of my view on it. I have a few other rules and exceptions going on in my head right now of that, just because it's kind of like, I understand every individual is completely different. However, I know here they are referring to abortion. I know someone's going to be like, oh, you're just taking it as implications of but when you see the sentence, what do you think of? And this is BuzzFeed. Of course they're implying that specific thing. So until another life is at stake, no. And I mean, hell, what about women who want to kill themselves? Should a woman be free to kill herself? Is if we're not going down the abortion route, like afflict self-harm. I actually have opinion on like whether suicide should be legal or not, and it's actually very interesting because I have been in that place before. And let me tell you, mental hospitals are shit. They just are. Hate them with a burning passion. I could really go into that, but I'm not. Anyhow, I'm not gonna click that because that's, yeah, you have every right until someone's life is at stake. Okay, next thing. In an instance of sexual assault against a female, I am inclined to believe the assaulted person is telling the truth until proven otherwise. Let me tell you something about the law. So, we have this special little court system that's innocent until proven guilty. That means the assaulter is innocent until proven guilty. That is how the court of law works. Fight me. Let's say that and someone probably is gonna beat me up. Jeez, like, okay, like, I'm not a law student, but, and let me give you my background of law, though, okay? I've been in a mock trial in high school for, like, 2 years, and I was also in a law enforcement class, and mock trial is so much fun, by the way. I highly encourage that for high schoolers. If you are in the U.S., I don't know if they have that outside of the U.S. Because competitions are so fun. Love it, love it, love it. And if you're a woman, I encourage you to do it too. Because law's not sexist. Anyhow. But no, I know it's not a lot of law experience, but I mean, I'm a scientist, not a law person. So, I have some law experience, just not a whole hell of a lot. But I know enough. I'm so triggered by this. Just like, no, like, fuck. Okay, sorry, I don't know how to edit out. I don't know how to edit stuff, so I can't take out my cussing. I apologize. And specifically sexual assault against a female. Okay, women can sexually assault as well. I might mind you. So, yeah. So, anyhow, Oh, jeez. No, I am, God. Uh, oh, gosh. Like, jeez. The lawyer within me. No, like, actually, law is a major I have actually considered. Astrophysics, philosophy, and law. Those are, oh, and meteorology. Those were like the four main things I was extremely debating on. Actually, when I was even younger, I was kind of thought about teaching, which I still kind of consider, but back then it was more like early childhood, and then that's stories for another day. I have so many stories I could tell. But no, I am inclined to listen to both sides of the story and try to listen and use reasoning before before trusting one person or the other. That is my inclination. Sorry, women. I just because you got a vajayjay don't mean I'm gonna suddenly side with you because you tell the truth all the time or whatever. Uh, I've met plenty of women who are massive liars, and not that men can't lie either, but first-hand experience. Right. Uh, I'm just I'm just so baffled by this, because this just goes completely against our legal system. You all are gonna like hate me for this forever, I swear. No, but like, no, like, and honestly, like, no, this would go the same way if a guy was saying that a girl, you know, great sexually assaulted him. I would, legally, okay, I am personally, on legal basis, inclination to listen to the assaulter. With me, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'd like to hear both sides of this. Although, I'm going to be honest with men, I might have a slight, smallest minusculeness to believe a guy being sexually assaulted than believing a woman, for the simple fact that men don't talk about that stuff. They just don't, because they feel shamed. And it's really freaking sad. And when a guy, women can fake emotion like crazy. It's actually really freaking terrifying. But men, you just really, when they're telling the truth, because they don't want to get emotional. They don't want to get into this kind of stuff. So, yes, I'm going to have the slightest inclination to believe a guy who is saying he got assaulted by a woman versus a woman being assaulted by a man. However, by legal terms, I do strongly believe that, the assaulter is innocent until proven guilty. Plain and simple. And for me, I like to listen to both sides. I really do. And hell, even if I believe the person who tells me that they were sexually assaulted, I would like to hear the other side of the story. Because maybe there's truth in both sides. And that's a strong belief I hold, is, people live in their own reality. Gosh, I could really go more into this about my views on reality as a whole, just because I really love philosophy, and you guys would be trapped with me forever and ever and ever. Oh, jeez. Anyhow, now that I've come out of my triggeredness, I need to get triggered sign this bad trigger. I'm gonna do that sometime. I'm gonna do that at some point in time. I'm gonna go to the next question now that I'm calmed down a little bit. I can explain Marilyn Dietrich's influence on women's fashion. Okay, so I really hope I'm right on this. I'm gonna have to Google this up because I want to know. I really hope that this is the lady who really put the encouragement for women to not feel like they have to wear skirts and dresses. Like, yeah, women should be able to wear pants and whatnot. That's chill. If it is, I'm gonna check it as yes. Because I can totally explain that. However, if it's I'm spending so much time on this. Darn you! Oh gosh, I'm not gonna be. Okay, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up right now. Just because, for one, I don't know it. I don't know who that specifically is because I'm not a name person. I'm really not. Okay. I know what a bad feminist is. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I promise you. Like, actually, I have actually seen a moderate feminist who I actually really liked. I'm not going to go into full detail where I saw her, what video I saw her speaking in, because that's kind of for my own protection as well, because the videos I was watching are not so liked in the LGBT community, and I don't feel like having people up my ass over it. So, yeah. Now, if you ask, I might say where. Just because I don't like to lie. But I don't want to give out sensitive information unless asked otherwise. So, anyhow. See, I believe that. But, she was a moderate feminist that I actually really liked. And I was really happy to see a feminist like her speaking because, you know, I found this so funny though because apparently she, university she went to go talk to, students need a safe place from her, and I was like, dang, this person's more of a feminist than I am, and I'm not even, and like, dude, do people need a safe place for me? A trans blind guy who honestly actually loves everybody individually, and even for the people who get on my freaking nerves, I would probably still give the shirt off my back for you. Like, seriously, it's kind of amusing. I believe that women should be able to dress however they want without it dictating how they are treated by society. Do 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 do. I thought I had that on silence. Oh well. Women. Yeah, I believe women should be able to dress however the hell they feel like without being, socially treated differently. Um, of course, as long as you do obey, you know, laws that tell you to you know, keep your privates covered because that's required of guys as well. Um, and just be respectful of dress code wherever you go. Obey the things of, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Male, female, anybody really. Uh, I'm gonna check yes, just as long as you guys respect, you know, dress code and don't walk around naked, pretty much. Uh, and oh, dress safely for the seasons, please. I'm gonna tell you something. Don't wear a bra and undies out in the summertime, because, darling, you're gonna get sunburnt like crap. Unless you're swimming, then by all means, do whatever the hell you please. Uh, but I advise keeping the whiter parts of your skin covered, at least if you're outside for longer amounts of time. Same goes for men. If it's winter, please stay bundled up. I don't want women to, if I see a woman walking around with shorts and a t-shirt, I'm probably gonna treat her slightly different by being like, "Hey, do you need a jacket or something? Are you okay?" But then again, that that was me though all the time as when I was younger, is walking everywhere in shorts and t-shirt, even in the winter seasons. But yeah, I mean, please dress safely too. Stay bundled up in the winter, because when clothes make a whole heck of a lot of difference. uh, so yeah, I have never said that a woman asked for. Let me guess, you're talking about rape. Not trying to say rape's not bad. It's terrible. Um, Asked for it. I mean, no, I haven't, because I just I don't know any guys who actually say that, except like stupid frat boys or something, or stupid high schoolers. Like, no actual like man who is mature, like anybody who's basically not 14. Don't say that. They just don't. I mean, like, women just, you you gotta be cautious for yourself, because you know guys gonna guys are people, humans are stupid. Let's see. I'm offended by catcalling. No, I am not. Because it's like, oh, that's stupid. Move on. Like, hell, it's freaking complimenting. Like, damn, if you're freaking I'm gonna reference this. I'm gonna reference it, and I'm gonna get the world to hate me. If you get Trigglypuff going down the streets, they're not gonna get catcalled. If I'm a woman, I'm walking down the street, and I get catcalled, Yeah, I would honestly kind of feel flattered. I'm not gonna take it offensively. Um, it's stupid. It's stupid and like gross, but it's still flattering. I don't think women should get VIP treatment at nightclubs and bars just for being. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna agree with that. I don't really think about this much. Uh, like, I will take full advantage of this. like, frick, I'm a trans guy, and even whenever I was first transitioning, I still took advantage of treatment at places like there's a race car place that I went to, and I identify as female so that you know pass as female or whatever, so that I could. Of course, that's me just taking advantage of crap. um, but no, I don't think women should get special treatment for being women. I really don't. But it's fun. It's fun. I think police brutality and its correlation with race is a feminist issue. There's just so many things wrong with that statement. Okay. There are a few bad police officers out there. But, I don't see police as bad people. I really don't. And, there are police officers, and I swear my Tulsa Tech instructor for law enforcement class, he will tell you, there are idiots out there who should not be police. And that's just a straight up fact. But that does not make all police bad. That just does not make all police bad. And the race issue, it's like, yes, it doesn't happen as much as the media wants to project it. It's like an airplane crash. Or like a parachute not opening, or something like that. It's only it only hits the media so hugely because it doesn't happen that freaking often. And yes, unjusticeness does happen. There is racism even in the police, but not all police are bad. And I just hate that police are being treated so crappily over this. And I grew up in a family that was very uncomfortable with police. So, and just the whole correlation with race. And, I know that's exactly what they're applying is that all stuff. But it's like, dude. Like, cops, stop killing the blacks. Blacks, stop killing the cops. Let's live in peace and harmony and not be assholes to each other. Is that too hard to do? Is it really too hard? Anyhow, is it a feminist issue? Feminism. The rights of the females. Rights for women, like... and I just feel like that's such a separate issue. If you want to advocate for that or whatever, do what you want. Just, but I don't think that's a feminist issue. Feminism, work on what feminism is, not about it's about gender. It's not about race. It's not about police. uh, Although I do encourage women to be police officers, there's there's not a whole hell of a lot of them out there, and I really highly encourage that. I really do. So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. So next question is, I think we should stop promoting models as the ideal female body type. Oh jeez. Yes and no. Like, okay. So I'm one of those rare few trans guys who actually played with dolls when they were a kid, yada yada yada, and I never saw like skinny women or like Barbies or whatever to be what the ideal body is for a woman. Yes, I mean, it's healthy to be skinny. I encourage having muscle, and sometimes that can make you ugly as crap. If you work out enough, I guess. If you find a really good healthy balance, you'll look nice. I'm telling you. And you'll feel nice too. You know, but I look around me and I know that's not what women are. That's not. Hell, I'm blind and I can even look around and say, that's not what females actually look like. So, and promoting models as I never felt like models were promoted to be the ideal female body type. I feel like that's what a lot of other females take on for it to be. I mean, there's plus size models, and man, some of them, like hell, I probably actually really would have been a really great plus size model. I honestly would say I would have been a good plus size model because I'm tall and I've gone fatter over this past year, but I'm kind of curvy. And of course, I relate this to back when I was identifying as female because it's females, it's feminism, and I understand both sides of the spectrum. Not trying to diminish my credit as a trans person, as some people would probably try to do. So I don't really know how to respond to this because I personally have never, ever looked at models and be like, that's the ideal body right there. And I don't know who does. I've honestly never met anyone who, or at least not met someone on a personal level who's like, oh gosh, all these models out there, they're the ideal body, I need to look like this, or whatever. I think, the ideal body is a healthy body, which, I mean, some of those models got it going. But no, I mean, like, I don't know how to really respond to that, because I feel like other women promote it. And hell, what about guys? I mean, geez, what about men models? I'm telling you, not all guys are like freaking abs. And not all guys aren't like, oh, David Hasselhoff. Those aren't ideal male bodies either. Like, women don't realize how much they actually how much they hold men up to that same standard, but I also don't look at men's models and think, oh, that's the ideal man right there. I'm sure some of you guys do. Huh. But, I don't know how to respond to this, because I'm like, I mean, what about the male bodies, huh? What about the male models? Should we stop promoting that as the ideal body? Because, gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes to that for the simple fact that I don't think we should start promoting it as such. Even though I don't see it as being there to begin with, I'm gonna say I don't promote it at all. I think we should stop photoshopping women's bodies in the media. We Photoshop everything. Like, gosh, dude, I like to I like doing special editing and filters on freaking nature because it just makes it look better. Frick, no, just screw you. Like I said, I don't think there's an ideal body out there, but I don't think, stop photoshopping women's bodies, media, I don't think that's gonna really do anything, especially because everything else is photoshopped, I mean, like, hell, wouldn't you like school pictures, geez, I'm sure they do some editing to get rid of some of those sets. Oh gosh. Gosh, I'm a blind person talking about something so visual, though. I don't know if my opinion means anything. I have never called a woman bossy. Take a drink. And actually have to think about this. No, I haven't actually. I've called women a bitch. And I have used other words to accurately describe certain people who happen to be women. I just don't really use the word bossy, honestly. I just don't. So, no, I have never called a woman bossy. Yeah, so let's go to the next question. I think companies should offer more child-friendly time and programs to women who are having children. What about men? Jeez. Men want to spend time with their kids too, Like, oh jeez. I actually have family issues in this area. My dad has, he has to work because he's an able-bodied, white, cis, male, heterosexual. Like, yeah, my dad's the worst kind of guy out here. Jeez, I really feel bad for my dad right now. Just think about this. I'm like, my dad's white, he's cisgendered, he's male, he's He's straight. Like, he's tried to be gay. He just can't. He just can't bring himself to do that. It's hilarious. I think but okay. It just, and my mom, because she's disabled like me, she can stay at home all day and not do anything and draw an SSI and all that fun stuff because anyhow, and just like, my dad should, I have two siblings, and my dad should be equally allowed to spend time with them and all that stuff. And like, but like, God forbid, parents can, good parents can be male as well. Like, jeez. Like, yeah, I mean, maternity leave is definitely a nice thing for women because, yeah, you kind of, there are biological things there that you really should not go to work after having a child. Like, directly after. Give it a week or two, please. Like, because you're in the hospital for a few days after you have a kid. Like, dude, be careful. Child-friendly time. I mean, I don't like this because it specifically, it says women, but it's like, dude, men, what about men, huh? Just because you pop them out of your crotch doesn't mean you're a responsible parent. Like, geez. It's just, my family, we, if my dad's work was more friendly towards, making sure my dad can pick up the kids from work and after work and, get the kids and all that fun stuff or whatever, or have programs for the kids to go to, like, or something like that. That's something my dad needs. My mom doesn't need crap like that. And I think this should just really apply to both men and women. And all I'm seeing here is women. And it's like, what about the men, huh? This is very more personal for me. So please take this specific opinion with a grain of salt, like, because this is a very personal topic for me. Men are just as equally capable of taking care of kids as a woman is. And yes, just like men are biologically meant more for physical labor and like working and all that stuff, women are naturally more suited towards the nurture side of things, and because that's how evolution works. That's how evolution works, my friends. That's exactly how it works. But of course, women can do jobs men can do, and men can be good caregivers like women can. Like, jeez, this one bothers me. I'm not even gonna check that. That's freaking. The next question. I believe that a woman should be offered the same opportunities for promotion as her male co-workers. Yes, of course. As long as they're doing the same, work to get there, yes, I mean, unless it's a gender-specific thing, like, I don't know, some male studies or something. Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of very specific cases, but I'm gonna say yes to that because I'm like, you know, yeah, women should be offered the same opportunities as their male coworkers, so as long as they are doing the same exact work. Thank you. Moving on. I believe that if a woman wants to pay on a date, her date should let her. Oh, hell yeah. I'm just like, I'm a cheap ass. If my girl wants to pay for the date, I'll let her pay for the damn date. I'm personally a person of, let's pay half and half, just because, or at least you pay for your food, I pay for my food because I'm a fat ass and I eat a lot of food. uh, so, but I mean, yeah, I mean, if she wants to pay for the date, I encourage that. Just because I'm a cheap ass. I'm just like, okay, like honestly, a guy who doesn't let a woman pay for the date in modern day society is probably a guy who just personally feels so uncomfortable for a woman to pay for the man's stuff. Like, and that's kind of where I am a lot of the time. Like, even though I'm cheap as hell, I do feel a little uncomfortable if a woman pays, or if any gender for that, when anyone really pays something for me. I don't like other people paying my way, but I'm not going to stop them. But there are people who it just makes them feel so uncomfortable because, it just kind of diminishes their own pride, and, just kind of, they want to feel like they have earned whatever they have. They want to say, no, I got this because I did it. I you didn't pay for this. I paid. You didn't pay for me. I paid for myself. I took care of myself. I don't rely on you. And so that's probably the only time a man's going to be like, no, let me at least pay for half or something like that. But I'm just, I if you're a girl, if she has the money for it, I let her pay for the damn date. Like, dude. Of course, if the guy is also insistent on, hey, let me at least pay for my own stuff. And yeah, I mean, I like I said, I think half and half is always a good cause, or pay for your own dinner if you're out for dinner. I don't know. Next question. I believe that women should have easy access to birth control. Okay. So I don't know how birth control is. And hell, I don't think any healthcare places, like the whole Hobby Lobby thing. I think, hey, if you want to work for a business that gives you access to birth control, then don't work at Hobby Lobby. However, just because I'm a very let businesses do whatever the hell they want to do, because it's their business, and if you want to work under them, then you're gonna have to make some sacrifices for yourself. Otherwise, go somewhere else if you really feel that bad of a need of it. I don't know how expensive that kind of stuff is. Like, I don't know if it's ridiculous or not. Like, I've never had to worry about it. I know most women have access to it. And it's also helpful for periods as well. Like, of course, I had normal ones before I got on testosterone. And so I never really needed that for that control. And, you know, all the time before, testosterone, I was a virgin. So, yeah. So I never really, like, I had no desire for sexual activity whatsoever. So birth control was really just a not needed thing. So I don't really know. I don't have a lot of knowledge on this. Like, is it hard to get a hold of? Is it easy to get a hold of? I know a lot of women who it's, you see, I'm gonna check yes, because I think if it is easy to get a hold of, whatever, just because it does help with periods. It's not just don't, you can have sex all the time and not worry about that. And honestly, we don't need more more dumb people in this world. We don't need more idiots. I believe that in a relationship, the domestic duties should be shared. Yeah, I mean, I think y'all should really set your own rules and do what you guys feel is best. If the woman wants to take on more of those roles of domestic duties, then yeah, go ahead. If you guys want to share them, go ahead. If the guy wants to, then go ahead. Like, I think it just varies relationship to relationship, but I think that's fair. Next question. I think that a couple should have equal responsibility over the aesthetic and cleanliness of their home. Yes, but I'm gonna say yes to this one. Just make it clear that what you consider clean, and don't be a douchebag and gripe to each other because something's not done right or whatever. Like okay, I have some I actually have, like, this is okay, so this is gonna sound like, I don't even know. I'm not gonna go into this because that's a story that we don't need to waste time on. Yeah, just don't. Yes, it should be equal, but don't. If the okay, if one of your partners doesn't clean it to your liking, don't gripe them out because you have a different standards. Make sure your standards of what is clean is clear. Like crystal freaking clear, clearer than what your dishes need to be or whatever. I don't even know. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now. I believe that men should be encouraged to be involved and make choices in the wedding planning process. Yeah. I mean, I never really thought about that, but I kind of assume they do have a part in planning a wedding. And I mean, like, you know, if they don't care, they don't care. That's great. Oh gosh. If they want to make their woman happy and just let her choose whatever, because maybe they just don't really have a preference, that's cool too. Okay, next question. I believe that men and women have the same emotional strength. No. I this is okay. Yes and no. I don't really know how to really respond to this. I'm gonna say okay. It says strength, but I'm also kind of thinking, okay, women. What you know, biologically, they're just a lot more emotional and more in touch with their emotions. Like, that's a biological thing. Whereas men are not. And, you know, but I do feel like, you know, when those emotions are tested, that we are all human and we have the strength to be just as emotionally strong or weak. And I think that can also vary from person to person as well. So that one's kind of hard to define, because it's like, I'm like, yes, no, maybe. An emotional state is kind of, look, okay, you know, okay, so women are more vulnerable to their emotions, and they get more caught up in their emotions and all that stuff, just because a lot of stuff does become a lot more mental, and that's just what the hormone, that's kind of just what estrogen does to you. It's not a sexist thing. It's just a biological thing. And of course, you know, men don't have that, and you know, they, you know, but you know, I feel like when those limits are tested, you know, yeah, we're both just as emotional. I'm going to say no, just because I do feel like men and women are different on the emotional level, because that's biology. Sorry to break it to you guys. Like, it doesn't mean a woman can't be strong emotionally. Hell, you know, if you have autism or something like this, you know, you're probably, and I have a lot of friends who are autistic, and this is just kind of, and I've actually watched a video or two about the differences between men and women and their biology, and I've looked at hormones and stuff like that, because trans, and I understand what those things do to you. Men are like slightly closer to autism than women are. Kind of in a sense. And so, like, I mean, if a woman is autistic, they're probably closer to the male emotions than the female emotions. At least that's kind of my understanding of it. Please, I'm not a biology major, so please take my biology lesson with a grain of salt. Please do. I'm moving on. I do not think that it is the responsibility of a man to protect a woman physically. No, but okay, men. Okay, like, Jeez, this one bothers me. Okay, so I feel the need to really, well, for one, protect my friends, but I also do feel like, I should be the one to protect a woman. Like, you know, if someone's gonna hurt you, I'm gonna freaking do something about it. Like, and that's just kind of me feeling like, hey, if I can do something about it, I'm not gonna let someone else get hurt. Kind of ideal. I'm gonna say I'm gonna check yes on this because I don't think this is specifically gendered, but I do find that characteristic to that pride in making sure that in protecting someone to be more found in men than women. Yeah. But, it can definitely be in women as well. I encourage that. By all means. I believe that men and women should be equally encouraged to express their emotion. Yes. Because men don't get to express their emotion that much. Women can do that, but men, they really can't. And and I just encourage men to be able to share their emotions. Jeez, you'd think this was a men's rights thing. Moving on. I have never asked a woman why she does not have children. No, I haven't, because I mean, I've never asked anyone that. Like, is this also referring to maybe women who don't want to have children, maybe? I don't know. But, I mean, I've never asked, so I guess that's really what they're asking, so, I would be equally excited to have a son or daughter. Actually, I know this is gonna sound horrible. This is gonna sound really horrible, and just because I do feel like this is more on the personal level than some of these other ones here. As I've said earlier in this video about like how my eye condition tends to be a little more genetic with the female sex. I would be perfectly happy having a son who, just because, he'd be sighted, and also, I would feel like I could relate to him more. Like, I could, be a good father role model. Like, now, if I was adopting or something, I would be happy with a boy or a girl, really. Or hell, honestly, it'd be kind of cool to have an intersex child. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care either way. I would be equally excited to have some, assuming this, I don't know what to say for this, because like I said, if it was biological, I don't want a daughter because that kid would be disabled. And not because I have an issue with disability, but because I don't wish that upon another human being. It just, disability is it sucks. But then again, also being male in this very, women think men are always sexist. I don't know. There's so many ups and downs to it. I guess I'll check it, just because now I'm like, well, there's pros and cons to both of them. And like I said, if it was a purely adoptive, thing, and I do feel like I could relate more to a boy, honestly. But anyhow, but then again, like, I understand female things, so that, I mean, that's weird. Okay, moving on. I think American workplace culture is often not structured in a way that is helpful or encouraging to women succeeding. Um, this is one of those ridiculous ones. Okay, like some of these are like, oh yeah, yeah, that's legit, man. Some of these are just really stupid. Um, I do feel like, especially here in America, the workplace culture is in fact very structured for women to succeed. Okay, let's get some statistics going. Women are more accepted. Like, okay, when I was looking at colleges and stuff, like, there was a higher percentage of women being accepted into college. And, and of course, women, you know, you get that minority, you know, plus sign, basically, and, like, I feel like workplaces are very good for women's success, because I think, honestly, I think in a way it's better than men's. I need to not check that. I think and I, a woman can succeed just as much as a man can. And yeah, just, it doesn't matter, if a man can succeed in the workplace, I feel like a woman can as well. And that's how I feel right now. I think women have a responsibility to help and encourage other women to pursue their goals. No, I don't think it's a responsibility. Now, I think people should encourage each other, but I don't think it's a responsibility. So no. Like I said, just treat people nicely. Be a decent human. Okay. Holy smokes! This video is lasting longer than I thought it would. Let's see. I'm still doing video. Where was I at? Yeah, so, I encourage people to pursue their goals no matter who they are, but I don't think it's anybody's responsibility to encourage each other. The next question is, I think women are equally capable to men to be President of the United States. Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm gonna get so much hate. I'd vote for anyone else, with a vagina besides Hillary Clinton. So, yeah. My girlfriend's in here with me, and it's awesome, because I love hers. I'm a weird person, don't mind me. I believe that women have no responsibility to make a conscious effort to always be friendly and polite. Yeah, I think everyone has has a responsibility to be friendly and polite, just because that kind of helps with coexistence. Um, to be conscious, you really should put effort into being a friendly person, being polite, and I mean, like, not to every single person. If someone's really an ass to you or something, yeah, be rude back if you want. However, you know that phrase, kill 'em with kindness. So, yeah. I think everyone should be friendly. I don't care what you got down there. You should just, everyone should be polite and friendly and ladylike, gentlemanlike, all that fun stuff. Next thing, I have never criticized a woman for not wearing makeup or wearing too much makeup. Okay. Okay. I am legally blind. Okay? That means I do have some vision to work with. Not a whole hell of a lot. But, anyhow, when a woman is wearing so much makeup, and it's not like goth makeup where, you know, that's just a style of it or whatever, you know, I just kind of think that, you know, freaking, if you're wearing that much makeup to where someone with vision issues can tell you have a lot of makeup on, you probably got a lot of makeup on, and if that's your style, go ahead. However, I don't see that. Oh my god, I don't see that being a style. Like, I don't even know, like. Or, and not wearing makeup. I mean, hell, when I identified as female, I never wore makeup. You know, and I never was criticized over it, but I was, like, encouraged to wear makeup. And there's, like, no. I feel like makeup's an art. You know, do it if it feels right to you. Don't do it to look good. That's my only rule on it. I've never really criticized anybody. I'm going in so much depth with these things, and you guys are all probably just being like, potato, shut up. We get it already. Anyhow. But hey, like, you know, whatever. Next thing is, I believe a woman is a woman if that is what she calls herself, regardless of her physical attributes and makeup. Is that... yes, a woman is a woman if they are a woman. Because womanly womanness. I'm kind of curious if they're referring to trans women, and if so, you know, they're women too. My girlfriend's a woman. Everyone's a woman. You're a woman, and you're a woman, and you're a woman. I'm gonna stop being a dumbass now. Okay, so I need to check that, so, you know, that counts. Oh, I also need to check that one, because I forgot to check it. Okay. Let's see. How much of a feminist am I? Oh, gosh. You know, I think if BuzzFeed actually paid attention to how many women actually, like, how many men and women take this thing and actually answer, like, really, like, if they answer really, they'd be surprised. Oh dear. 20. Okay, you checked off 28 out of 50 on this list. You're super in tune with what's going on in the world, especially when it comes to feminist issues. Keep doing you and stay woke. Oh, jeez, no, don't even use woke, please. That's... Oh, jeez, that's... I just hate this area using that. Well, I guess... it says I'm in tune with everything, so I guess that means I'm in tune with things, especially when it comes to feminist issues. Well, I guess that does go to show. I guess I'm not sexist. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I'm actually like oh jeez. I'm very critical of feminism, but I guess, whatever. I guess BuzzFeed thinks I'm not that critical of it. So that's... I don't know how to feel about this, because I'm like, I was honestly expecting something bad, but whatever. But, so I'm a feminist, I don't have privilege. Man, I'm an amazing person. Strong, powerful, trans thingy. Whatever. Okay, well, awesome to take this, I guess. Thanks for watching this awfully long video. Thank you for watching, I guess. Bye!